Hello everybody and welcome to my starter tips and tricks guide to Starfield. Now this video is directed at beginners of Starfield, but there are a lot of tips and tricks, or at least concepts of the tips and tricks, that could be usable by people that are very experienced with this game. At least elaborations that might make the game a little bit more enjoyable and a little bit more efficient for you. So feel free to stick around and I hope you enjoy the video. For the first tip of this video, and something that I feel like the game doesn't really teach you, if you go into the game expecting it to be similar to Fallout or Skyrim, the game doesn't really teach you that junk and most of the items don't work the same. Like I was saying, junk no longer works the same way it did in Fallout. So anytime you're looking for items, say you're trying to loot something, where you would grab this and it might give you something like vacuum tape. This would give you adhesive in Fallout. Now it doesn't work like that, even though it's still taking up space. As you see, it made me over encumbered. And anytime you're looking for something you just picked up, it should have a little exclamation point over the item. But vacuum tape doesn't give you adhesive like it did in Fallout, so you shouldn't be picking up junk items like this. Anytime you're looking for an item that will actually give you something, you'll want to find an item like these. These are either manufacturing components, which are things that you'll commonly find in facilities. It'll specifically say it can be used in crafting. Or you'll look in, some resources will be raw resources, like liquids like this, or solid resources like this, and sometimes there's gaseous things like this. These are all items that you'll find that are actually used in crafting, and they'll specifically say at any time each of these are dropped, or that you'll find them on the floor. They all will say it in the game so that you know that you can actually use these for crafting. Credits in Starfield are really easy and really hard to come by. If you're doing quests all the time and you're constantly running around and doing activities, you'll probably have enough money to do just about anything you want to in Starfield. So you're in Cydonia, we're at this mission board, and you can look at all these missions. They're all pretty simple. I would definitely recommend the ones that are usually transports or being able to kill spaceships. We only have the transport one, so we're just going to go ahead and accept that one. Now that we have this transport scientist mission, we're just going to go ahead and teleport, basically, or fast travel in this game, to the place that it needs to be, and it's actually a system I've never been to. Wow. And then run to the location. As soon as you're within a certain distance, it should immediately give you the credits and XP for the mission, and you don't actually have to go and talk to anybody. All you have to do is run towards it. So credits can be easy. There's a lot of exploits that you can do to get credits a lot faster in this game, but honestly, most of them are so game-breaking to me that I haven't gotten into just any of them, to be entirely honest. Like I was saying before, there's a lot of things you can loot in this game, and it seems like with carry weight capacity and those types of things that you're constantly full, you're constantly overweight type of thing. So unless you're willing to fork out a bunch of perk points that are super valuable in this game, it's going to take a lot for you to be able to carry things around, and that's just one of the reasons companions are so necessary in this game, is that they can carry things for you, they can help you in combat, and sometimes they can help you a ton in combat. I mean, the fact that your allies don't have to have ammo to supply the things that they use, other than just a few bullets, makes it to where they are an endless stream of being able to kill enemies, and basically being able to use the most rapid fire weapons in the game and being able to dish out tons of damage makes them so valuable, alongside the other advantages like weight carrying that they have, or being able to develop some lore friendly type of relationships, friendships, that type of thing. They're super friendly, and that's why I put this tip for beginners especially at number 3. For tip number 4, we're going to go over the star map. The game doesn't seem to explain a few of the concepts within the game, like little icons that you'll see. So these icons here above Alpha Centauri, Sol, Narian, and some of the other systems, these are signifying significant settlements. So in Alpha Centauri you have a couple. You have the United Colony's main hub, which is New Atlantis on Jemison, and then you also have Gagarin hub. I'm sure it's trying to signify that it's a settlement, but to me it just looks like a guy with his hands sticking straight up into the air, and I've never been able to get that image out of my head. So this tiny little symbol, this is just signifying what your settlements are on, or any type of outpost that you have placed. Say you are in a system and you're looking at specific planets, these tiny dots here. This is signifying that there is something on the planet that you can go to as a location that's already discovered. Rather than having to find one when you go onto the planet and scan it, these already have something that you can go to and travel to, which means that there's probably some type of loot or some type of quest-oriented things that you can find, either some fun exploration type of thing, or just places that you can drop into that are going to be more unique than the random places you'll find on other planets. Another thing I feel the game doesn't do a very good job at explaining is the different colorations of stars and the different illumination of stars when you're in the star map. Illuminated means that you've been to that system. So not only can you see different classifications of the star and different informations about the system itself, how many planets are in the system, but you'll actually be able to select the system and go into it and select particular planetary bodies. And if you've already been to a planetary body, then you can now select it and go on to the planet particularly and select a location to be able to fast travel to. So if I wanted to fast travel to Cydonia, then I could do that immediately because it's an illuminated star system and it's a location that I've already been to. Now that we're here on Cydonia, we're going to look at the rest of the stars and what they mean. Now that we know what the illuminated means, we're going to look at a dull star. So say I wanted to look at Naira, a star that I have no information on, and that's all that the dull means, is that you have no information on it because you haven't been to that system yet. So as soon as I go to a system or a star that I've already been to, it'll show all of the information about that star as well as all the planetary bodies that it has on the left side of the screen. Since it's dull, I can't see it, and I also can't even go into the system. I have to jump to it before I can look at what's in the system. Before I jump to Naira, we're going to look at the red system. So Serpentis means that I don't have access to that system yet just because I don't know the location of it. So once I jump to Naira, now I have a hyperlink to be able to get to Serpentis, which will make it to where I'm allowed to jump. Now I have immediate access to get to Serpentis, and I can jump to Serpentis. So that's the stars colorations explained. So with tip number 5, we're just going to be doing a quick walkthrough of how to fast travel in this game and how to do it the most efficient way. So there are a few ways. One way is you can go into the planet itself and select locations, say here at New Atlantis. If I wanted to go to the commercial district, I could open up the planetary map. But rather than doing that, the fastest way is to use your discovery scanner. And you can look for the location if you know the general location of where it is. If I want to get to the commercial district, then you can do it from there. And it makes it a lot faster if you need to get to a specific place, but you're running from quest to quest. It makes it to where you don't have to open up a bunch of menus and go through a bunch of monotonous type of activities type of thing. Same thing goes for if you ever need to get to your ship from any location. You can just find your ship, and it'll immediately put you into the cockpit of your ship, just in case you need to do some quest that you need to leave a planet. Say instead you want to fast travel to another location that's on another planet rather than going through the discovery scanner. If you want to go to another location on the planet, you don't actually have to be on your ship in order to do that. You can actually just go straight into the star map. You need to make sure you're not jumping though or falling. You go into the star map and say I wanted to jump to my other system or my other station on Endum 2, wherever it's at. Say I wanted to go there, then you can just select it immediately and select land, and it should put you directly wherever that location is. And if you're jumping to a new location on a planet that you haven't been to or that doesn't have a landing pad, it'll put you a little farther away. But luckily I have my cargo ports and everything set up here, so it puts me directly in here. So if I wanted to jump to New Atlantis from any location, then you can go inter-system, I guess is the best way you would say that. You just select Alpha Centauri, you select the planet, and I need to get to the lodge, so then I can just select the lodge, rather than having to get into my ship and actually jump there. Makes it a lot faster, makes fast traveling way more efficient, and makes it to where you don't have a lot of monotonous time having to jump and do engage your grav drive and all that type of stuff. For a bonus tip in this game, it's similar to other Bethesda titles in which there are items that when you select them or when you loot them, it'll actually permanently increase your stats. So if you ever open up your discovery scanner, it'll show you items outlined in blue or whatever color you set it to, depending on if you have different color settings, that you'll be able to see items in particular, and you want to look for pamphlets and that type of thing in just about everywhere in this game, because certain items you find might actually be something like you find in this locker here, or that I found in this clip, that increases your carrying capacity permanently. So it's always important anytime you're in a location, doesn't matter whether it's quest oriented or it's just a location you're looting, that you kind of have your discovery scanner on when you're looking around, because you might find one of these pamphlets, or you might find loot boxes that you wouldn't have seen before, so that you can loot certain things that might be worth selling or just might be worth collecting. Alright everybody, that's the end of that beginner tips and tricks video. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and if you did, feel free to comment on some other video suggestions that you guys might have and like that video. Feel free to check out my channel as well. I've got some other interesting videos on there, as well as a ship build that I've always enjoyed, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching.